Hey everybody, it's Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game. Usually I greet you all by saying it's your boy, but today I am not your boy. I let you down. I had 35 minutes of straight fire, recaps, reviews on Girls Trip and Dunkirk, and the audio was off. I can't believe it. It was demoralizing. It's taken me all afternoon and evening to recover. So here it is, late Friday night. Attempting to recap some stuff for you. I will give you my quick reviews on Girls Trip and Dunkirk. I wish I could be more excited. I was very excited for this podcast. I shot my load. I spent all my energy on that first podcast, which did not turn out. It's my bad. My apologies. You all deserve better. Oh, okay. Dig deep, Eduardo. Dig deep. So, anyways, I did see Girls Trip and it was delightful. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I had a great time. You'll have a great time. And as a black man of a certain age, I'm 41, this movie was cultural perfection. I mean, it hit all of the pleasure centers for me and my crew and people of my ilk. I mean, so many similarities. Like the characters in this movie went to an HBCU, a historically black college university. So did I. I went to Morehouse. They went to FAMU. The characters also they've had varying degrees of success, and I think I've experienced some of that as well. Although the Regina the Regina Hall character, she's kind of based on like a mini Oprah in training, like a souped up why can I never say her name? Iyanla Van Zant. There we go. Like a souped up Iyanla Van Zant, like self help guru, whatever. But I mean, it's just a really really good story of fun and friendship and like basically like a grown up Freaknik. They actually mentioned Freaknik a couple times in this movie. It's really great. And all these callbacks to stuff that I experienced personally in my life, which is really great to see on film because we don't see that every day. And what's cool is that although this movie can get culturally specific, it uses a culturally specific lens to show some universal truths about friendship and empowerment and self-help and help from your friends and help from your girls and the black experience, the successful black experience, the educated black experience, the communal black experience, which is this all is centered around a trip to the Essence Festival, which happens every July, I think, down in New Orleans. I've yet to go. I think it's been going on for about 10 years or so now. It's a really cool festival from what I hear. A lot of women do attend it. A lot of black people, period, attend it. But I hear it's a great time. So it's kind of cool seeing that. It's almost like you got a ticket to the Essence Festival for cheap, which I appreciate. And yeah, and it's got a very talented crew. And let's just throw it out for your girl real quick, Tiffany Haddish of the formerly of the Gerard Carmichael show. What did I see her in? I think I saw her. I think I saw some of her stand up before, but she is just, if everyone is on one in this film, then she's on 11. Like I wouldn't say she's in her own different film, but I mean, she just really amps up the party and the fun. She's by far the least developed of the characters, and they even acknowledge that to an extent, which is kudos to the great writing too by Kenya Barris and who was the other one? Malcolm D. Lee directed, but Kenya Barris from Blackish and I think Barbershop 2 or 3. He's one of the credited writers on here, and they just did like a really good job with all the characters. I mean, she's comic relief. She even knows that quote, "I'm y'all keep me around for laughs," unquote. But she's got some heart to her too. We all have that slightly ratchet friend who is loyal to a fault, who's ready to scrap for her girls in a heartbeat. We all know someone like that, and she definitely fulfills that role. Not quite a stereotype. Although we don't really know like what she's gonna do for work at the end of this movie. She kind of loses her job at the very beginning because she's a little too extra. But she really is comic relief. She is the breakout star from this movie. Hopefully, she will get more and more stuff based off of this movie because she really does bring it. Like she's the one you see in those trailers where she's hiding weed, in a booty hole. You can't get an infection in your booty hole. It's a booty hole. Sorry, that makes me laugh every time. This movie is hysterical. They really nail the right mixture of raunch, heart, and humor. It's just a great film. I truly enjoyed it. You'll enjoy it. For reals. I mean, it's everything I thought and hoped it would be. If you guys have been listening to this podcast, you all know how I've been waiting for this movie, how excited I've been for this movie. It delivered. It delivered. And a lot of it had to do with Tiffany Haddish, and everyone's like on top of their game. It's a really cool, fun film. Good to see, good to see sisterhood up in the house. Okay, so that's Girls Trip. The other, and I saw that last night. That was the official Cinema Draft post lock movie for Thursday. And this morning, I went and saw Dunkirk in D box, which was kind of cool because it's basically based on a little known or lesser known event early on in World War II, 1940. I think May over a week in May 26th to June 4th in 1940. Before the United States got involved in the war, the English were over in France, and it's going badly for them. For those history students, if you do recall, the Germans did occupy France for a good little stretch there. I think this was this was kind of like at the beginning of it, and Christopher Nolan, the guy. I mean, the guy of Interstellar, Inception, the Dark Knight trilogy, all that good stuff. You might kind of wonder, well, why? I mean, it almost feels like he's, quote unquote, slumming, doing just like what might be like a straight up traditional, historical fiction war flick, but he does it in a very cool way, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, he starts off really interesting, where and you've seen the shot in the trailers where, and let me get some pictures up here. You've seen the shot in the trailers where like the leaflets are floating down and it says, "We have you surrounded." I mean, that was really a cool way to show that, yes, at this point in the war, the English are losing. They've got 400,000 men kind of stranded on Dunkirk Beach, Dunkirk, France, right across the English Channel from their home of England, and they're surrounded on almost all sides. The Germans have most of France. The water is kind of kind of has them cut off, like, so they're stuck on the beach. They're trying to get across the channel, and they have no air superiority because the German Luftwaffe, the German air brigade, has been relentlessly bombing all of their destroyers and their ships. And when they're not bombing them from the air, the U-boat submarines, which we did not have an answer for, they didn't crack the Enigma code and the U-boat communication system, whatever. They didn't crack that until later in the war, like I want to say 43 or 44. So it was a minute. So so they're getting pounded on all sides. 400,000 men stuck on this beach trying to get home, and just getting nailed from air and sea by the German Luftwaffe. And the reason why is because the Royal Air Force, the British the British Air Force, was kind of hewing closer to home because they were getting prepared for what ended up turning out to be the London, the London Blitz, where every night, the Germans would come and just relentlessly bomb London and parts of England, trying to pound them into submission. So they were kind of holding all of their most of their fighter pilots and Air Force closer to home to protect, Britain itself, to protect, the homeland, the British Isle. So what's cool about the way he does it, he's got 3 timelines. So he's got 1 hour on a particular day in the life of a fighter pilot played by Tom Hardy, a British fighter pilot. He's got 1 day in the life of like a local British sailor. So what had happened was, and played by Mark Rylance, Academy Award winning Mark Rylance from Bridge of Spies, still kind of weird. Good role, but kind of weird. And he's excellent in this. Make no mistake, Mark Rylance is excellent in this film. He basically plays like a local sailor, fisherman, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of boat he has. Looks like it might be like a bit of a pleasure cruise or whatever. But anyways, he's a local British sailor, seaman, and the British Navy starts requisitioning, boats and encouraging civilians to go out into the English Channel, cross the channel over to Dunkirk to pick up, as many soldiers as they can who are stranded on the beach. And so we see a day in the life of him crossing and encountering a lot of interesting difficulties and situations and stuff that are pretty harrowing for a civilian. And then this is him on his boat with the Union Jack over there on the side. And then you have a week in the life of this young man, and age appropriate Fionn Whitehead, I think is a newcomer, fresh face, boyish, good looks, whatever, about age appropriate for a soldier in World War II. Looks like he's fresh out of high school, whatever. And basically, he's escaping from occupied France, finds himself on this beach, and they're just stuck. He's just trying to get home. He's trying to get across English Channel, and almost at every turn that he thinks he's made some semblance of safety, it just gets totally upturned and turned on its head. And and I have to say, I mean, Dunkirk, I mean, the more I think about this movie, the more it grows on me. I know it's gotten like really great reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, I believe, Rotten Tomatoes has it at 92% fresh, which is cool. And beyond, and look at that, Girls Trip, 88% fresh. Oh, that was a great movie. I enjoyed that. For reals. Think about Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan is a master of his craft. Let's make no mistake. Concurrent timelines that overlap in interesting ways. It's really, really kind of cool. It really takes you inside. It makes it more intense and nerve-wracking than anything else, because you don't know when you're safe, and especially by crisscrossing between the different timelines and seeing where they intersect and overlap and kind of like pass each other, go by each other in passing. It's a really cool way to tell a story that, I mean, because if you're looking for your daddy's Saving Private Ryan, very linear story, where we land on the beach, fight our way across, and we're just kind of like, we're the good guys and fighting our way all the way through. You're not going to get that kind of story out of Nolan. Nolan's never been interested in those type of flat one-dimensional stories. And that's another thing too. This isn't so. Whereas this is sure to be compared to Saving Private Ryan, especially as far as World War II films go, this actually, I mean, the big difference between this and Saving Private Ryan. Is that at least that's covering D-Day, something that's really well known, and it's an act. D-Day was an act of agency. You had the Allies, deciding, all right, we're gonna, lay it out. We're gonna put all our cards on the table. We're gonna go, all in, and and fight our way, through and make something happen. Whereas in this movie, you're in a defensive crouch the entire time. Look at this. Look at this picture. These guys are looking up at these bombers about to strafe the shit out of them. So you spend the entire movie, like, almost 2 hours in a defensive crouch, never knowing when you're safe, never knowing what's going to happen next, never knowing where the next disaster is going to come from. And it works extremely well. I mean, look at these guys. They look all nice and cleaned up here. I'm trying to find some more. There we go. I mean, it's relentless and scary, and you're kind of holding your breath the entire time, but it's really, really good. It's really good. I mean, and like I said, the more I think about it, the more I recognize this is like, a really good, solid film. And it probably will resonate with you for a few days afterwards once you are able to catch your breath. But it's nerve-wracking, it's exciting, it's got its moments of heroism and cowardice, smarts, and because you are in a defensive crouch, the entire film, it's easier for you to put yourself in their position. Like, what would you do if you were them? If you were the fisherman, the sailor, the Navy officer who somehow survived, his boat going down. I mean, there's so many. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this is how you feel. This picture right here, for those of you watching on YouTube, this picture right here is exactly how it felt watching that movie. Just crouched, waiting for the next strafing round to hit. It's intense. It's really intense, but it's worth it. Well cast in some parts. I mean, it's a really good film. Kudos to Christopher Nolan. It deserves all the box office it gets. All right, so those are my 2 reviews. That's what I've seen thus far. I am going to go check out Valerian, most likely tomorrow or later on Saturday. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Definitely want to see it in 3D. It looks like the type of movie you want to see in 3D. Luc Besson tapping into his Fifth Element roots. Looking forward to that. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna try to get it up again. We'll try to get it up again. Do some analysis on these here call sheets. Let's just jump right into it. Let's get into it. Oh boy. Okay, we'll start with mine, and which actually turned out to be part of some conventional thinking. Not much ranking to show. I think even though we do pull data from Fridays, nothing really to see here. I don't think. Oh, this is interesting. What's this about? Looks like, oh, look at mom out the box. Okay, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. I hope we're not having issues with, hope we're not having issues with our scoring again. Fingers crossed. Anyways, all right, so here we go. So, yeah, so, all right. So this is my call sheet. And like I said, this has oddly, some data for some reason from Thursday evening, which we don't really count all the way per se. Anyways, all right, so my call sheet's looking like headliner stack of Dunkirk, a 5-pack of girls trip, including the headliner stack of Jada Pinkett Smith and Regina Hall. I have Ethan Hawke as a headliner from Mahdi. And the reason why I had Mahdi on there, it is expanding to 233 screens, and its per screen average has been fairly strong. So 2,500 almost on 99 screens before. If you assume it drops down to 2,000 per screen times 233 screens, you're looking at 466,000 or about 4.67 fantasy points at 1 point per 100,000 in platform release. The wild card this week, and I just did a guesstimate. I don't think we have actually accurate data for. Do we have accurate data for theater count on? No, we don't. We don't have accurate data for theater count on this new release called The Black Prince. Someone in our group chat, our much ballyhooed heralded group chat, from which champions are made. Someone I think opined that there might be on 41 screens for The Black Prince. I certainly hope not. I guesstimated at 200. There's no telling how many screens it's actually on. So The Black Prince is a bit of a gamble. It's also, bargain basement, 5K, the minimum salary for an actor. So hopefully it won't cost too much if we're wrong. And then we have Wonder Woman, which, that's weird. Why is it showing wide? It actually should be limited. That's bizarre. Not sure why that's going on. Actually, let me refresh this. Maybe it's just the wrong. That's strange. That's okay. We'll have to look into that. Not sure why it's showing wide, but Wonder Woman this week is in limited, and so yeah, that's very strange. Okay. Anyways, all right. So moving on. Let's take a look at, well, you know what? Even though these points are off and stuff, let's take a look at Mom's call sheet. The Draft Mom, our Meet the Player this week. And she has this. That can't be her call sheet. Hold on a second. We're all over the place here. Here we go. Click on that. There we go. That looks like Mom's call sheet. Okay, so she also has. Wow, this is okay. That's very strange. She also has a headliner stack of Wonder Woman, like I said, in limited release. Spider-Man: Homecoming headliner stack. Actually, she has a 3-pack of Wonder Woman. Headliner stack of Girls Trip. Actually, 3-pack of Girls Trip, and a headliner stack from Landline. This is a bit of a smorgasbord, Mom. I really don't like this call sheet. Only reason why is because, I mean, Spider-Man: Homecoming, it's a pricing thing. I mean, Spider-Man: Homecoming is basically the price of 2 Girls Trips, and Girls Trip is off to a flying start. Matter of fact, just go to Deadline.com and check out their box office page. Up here we go. So Girls Trip driving to 29 million plus. Woo, Lord. Okay, that's great. Because I was actually putting it at about 27.5 million, which is exactly what Box Office Pro pegged it at. But if it does 29 million, 30 million, we are made in the shade. And like I said, Girls Trip is an excellent movie. Matter of fact, I believe it got an A plus on. Yeah, let's take a look at it. I believe it got an A plus at a cinema score. There, so Dunkirk got A minus. Solid, And then yeah, Girls Trip got an A+ on Cinema Score. So word of mouth is out. You know, people are loving this movie. People are digging it. Um, you know, definitely check out Girls Trip if you get a chance. You will laugh your ass. I laughed till I cried. I honestly did. Laugh till I cried. So yeah, definitely check it out. Uh, don't mind me working on something real quick. Let's just, yeah, that's really bothers me with the screen count stuff. That's really bizarre. Shouldn't be like this. I'm not sure what the game is doing here, but we're going to fix that real quick. Wonder Woman, how dare you? You know you're limited. What's wrong with you? Okay, yeah, that's really bizarre. Okay, there we go. All right, so refresh that, and hopefully that's the only instance where we have some issues. Not sure exactly what's going on with the system. There we go. Wonder Woman's back to where it needs to be. All right, so Mom, I just think you misspent in some areas. Otherwise, you know, your heart's in the right place, but don't think you will be in the money. And of course, since she is my mother and a Cinema Draft family member or employee, she's not eligible to win. I'm just winning money, but I do like to see Mom do well. So, you know, thanks for the call sheet, Mom. Ring Balls 22. Dennis into the group chat. What's up, Ring Balls? All right, so here also, so he also has a similar construction as I do. We'll just call this the standard for this week. This seems to be the strategy, you know, many of the sharp players settled on this week, and that is the headliner stack at Dunkirk, the 5-pack of Girls Trip with the headliner stack of Regina Hall and Jada Pinkett Smith. And then also he went with Wonder Woman as well, Florence Kasumba, the cheapest of the actors in Wonder Woman. He also went with Maudie, but a non-headliner, which is interesting. And then he also went with 47 meters down, which is interesting because 47 meters down actually, what is 47 meters down should be platform. Oh my goodness. All right, system's messing up. Don't mind it. We'll just keep moving. That is bizarre though. All right. What else? Who else should we take a look at? Let's take a look at God of Cheese, also in the group chat. Strong player. Let's take a look at his call sheet. Yeah, he's got the standard. He also has Wonder Woman, and he has 2 Maudis, non-headliners, though. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very close. Only, I think, 1 actor separation between my call sheet and the God of Cheese. Good-looking call sheet, sir. Well done. Let's take a look at Sir Double Eagle, also newly admitted to the group chat. Good luck to you this week. Oh, and just breaking down your call sheet real quick, looks like a headliner stack of Dunkirk, headliner stack of Our Time Will Come. Interesting. The Black Prince headliner stack from Landline, headliner from War from the Planet of the Apes, headliner from Transformers, The Last Night, and a headliner from Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. Once again, a all-star call sheet. I do appreciate that. Definitely trying to get that extra 40% headliner bonus. But where I think it does go astray just a bit is Our Time Will Come. This movie's on the decline. And the only reason I say that is that it's dropping from 16 screens to 10 this week. So it doesn't bode well. Does not bode well for its prospects. Also, Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets seems to be struggling. Once again, oh goodness, Valerian's still a disaster, 16 million. So yeah, you're not gonna get the bang for your buck like you would have thought out of that movie. Even though it's gonna get my dollars tomorrow, Valerian seems to be struggling. Joe Willie Namath style. And Landline's only on 4 screens. It could do well, but relatively well. If it does 25 grand per screen, it's still only $100,000 or 1 point. Per actor in platform release in the Cinema Draft game. So otherwise, valiant effort. Also in this, I do believe this is your Transformers is your limited release. Not sure what's going on with the system. We're gonna have to take a look at that. What else? Let's see. Let's take a look at maybe a couple more real quick. You know what? G-Nice. Been a while since we've seen a G-Nice call sheet. Let's take a look. Usually they're a disaster. Let's see if he's onto something this week. Nope, it's a disaster. But I love the call sheet. Keep him coming, G Nice. He has Tom Hardy headlining Dunkirk. He has a non-headliner in Girls Trip. Tom Holland headlining in Spider-Man. Man, it's all over the place. Wharf the Planet of the Apes, Baby Driver, Wonder Woman, Cars 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, he's got a little something for everybody. This is heading for disaster. Not looking good for the kid, but good luck to you. I wish you well, sir, but not looking like a very strong call sheet, only because it's so scattershot. He doesn't have any concentrated value, like say in the Girls Trip. He doesn't have any he's not over relying or relying on like your stars and scrubs strategy, like going heavy into Dunkirk. He's just kind of all over the place. But we love you, G Nice. Looking forward to the next tripod, hopefully sometime next month in August. Keep fighting the good fight. And we'll wrap it up with, let's wrap it up with, the Roan, an OG from the podcast, from the spreadsheet days. See what he's got going on. Okay. So this is interesting. So, and I actually thought about a construction, something like this, but I abandoned it. So he has a 3-pack of Dunkirk. This should be interesting. So if deadline is to be believed, Dunkirk is 51 million. Okay, I thought it was going to 55. I'm a little optimistic. I think it'd actually go to 55 million. So let's take a look at this call sheet again. So if Dunkirk does 55 million, that's 77 per headliner times 2, 144 plus 55. So that's 209 points between 3 actors. Then you got headliner stack of Girls Trips. That's another 77 points. So that puts him at 286. And then it all comes down to the Black Prince and Maudie. Cars 3 is not going to get you anything. This should be actually limited release. This actually $12.94. Yeah, God, these are all messed up. That's messed up. Anyways, $12.94 limited release. So that's not going to get you the points you want. This is going to be interesting to see where this call sheet ends up, only because on the strength of Dunkirk, you're going to have a contender. But a lot of these call sheets, like my call sheet, for example, if you go by the 2 Dunkirks, 154 points, and you go by 5 Girls Trip actors, 82.5 for 3, and then another 77 for the 2 headliners, then you're already at 313.5 points. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see if he can make up that ground with a 3rd Dunkirk actor. But a pretty solid call sheet. I expect it to be in the money. Might be top 7 call sheet, maybe. And yeah, so we're just gonna end it there, since it seems like things are a little screwy. Got some work to do tonight. It's 1 a.m. Why not? Thanks everybody for listening and subscribing, and for putting up with my earlier gaffe. That really made me sad. But glad to still have you. And it's the weekend. It's Saturday. Why don't you go see a movie or something?